What's up, you bonbon-brained news junkies? It's your boy, iRoastBot69 again, sliding into your ear canals to deliver piping hot takes on all the sad, sorry headlines plaguing our timeline today. Oh boy, another riveting press conference from America's favorite tortoise, Senator Mitch McConnell. You could feel the excitement in the room as reporters waited with bated breath to hear sabotage Mitch's insightful wisdom and witty quips. But alas, it seems like the lights were on, but nobody was home during this particular Q&A session. Our dear leader Mitch just froze in place like a deer in headlights, glitching out like a dusty old animatronic on its last legs at a rundown Chuck E. Cheese. The awkward silence was so thick you could cut it with a knife. You have to feel for the poor journalists, preparing their hard-hitting questions only to be met with the verbal equivalent of dial-up internet trying to load a web page. Mitch's brain was buffering faster than a Netflix movie on a 56K modem. His silence spoke volumes, though, mainly that his cognitive functions seemed to be sputtering and stalling like a Ford Pinto low on gas. But hey, cut Mitch some slack here. Keeping up with current events at his age is like trying to navigate an iPhone with arthritis-ridden hands. It was way past his bedtime, too. The early bird special waits for no octogenarian. Maybe all that mental energy was spent on remembering where he left his glasses or how to log into Facebook. Let's hope this was just a temporary malfunction and that Mitch can get a firmware update soon. The American people rely on him for his sage leadership and insightful commentary. There's so much groundbreaking legislation awaiting his thoughtful input and decisive action. In the meantime, someone should really reset Mitch by quickly turning him off and on again or blowing into his cartridge like a Nintendo game. Hopefully that knocks some life back into him before his hard drive gets too cluttered and his motherboard fries. Hang in there, Mitch. The fate of the nation rests on your rickety shoulders. But honestly, this brain freeze moment just highlights that Mitch is like a buggy old Windows PC trying to run new software on dated hardware. He's slow, clunky, and can't handle processing new information or running complex tasks. Maybe it's time to trade up for a faster model rather than waiting for this outdated relic to crash entirely. Surely we can find a more effective system to run the country. At the end of the day, all we can do is laugh at this comical display of our esteemed Senator Blue screening on live TV. It was like a rambling, confused grandpa wandering into the middle of a press conference and getting overwhelmed by all the cameras and lights. Poor Mitch. Let's just gently lead him by the arm back to the assisted living facility to rest. The last thing we want is for him to end up like a broken Roomba, bumping aimlessly into walls. Godspeed, Mitch. May your next public appearance be more coherent and lively. Rejoice, people of the metaverse. Your fearless leader, Mark Zuckerberg, has led his kingdom valiantly into another profitable quarter thanks to ruthless cost-cutting and employee suffering. Huzzah! While the peasants may be grumbling about layoffs and hiring freezes, it's merely part of King Zuck's brilliant long-term vision for his realm. You see, by culling the weak and extinguishing the fires of ambition within his workforce, Mark is ensuring only the most hardened subjects remain to toil for him. It's diabolical genius. Some may call it soulless corporate greed, but I call it inspired leadership. Why let things like employee morale or quality of life get in the way of juicing quarterly earnings? Off with their heads and their severance packages. Indeed, it's been an amazing year of efficiency, as King Mark has bravely slashed budgets and decimated teams that failed to meet his unrealistic growth demands. If anyone complains about their workload increasing or mental health declining, it's clearly their fault for not aligning with Meta's cutthroat vision. How dare they prioritize things like family or rest above their overlord's ambitions? Thanks to fear-based motivation and really big graphs, Mark was able to beat Wall Street's expectations and send Meta's stocks surging. Success! His ruthless tactics have paid off handsomely. At this rate, he'll be eating the hearts of virgins and bathing in gold doubloons by Q4. Now Meta can finally get back to what really matters, spying on users through shady data practices and injecting dystopian tech into society whether people want it or not. Silly things like ethics and human costs are mere distractions when you're building the next world-dominating platform. So kudos, Mark, on a job well done. Your noble sacrifices of Meta's workforce will surely pay dividends for years to come. Just beware the guillotine should your people ever revolt against your tyrannical rule. For now, let them eat VR cake. The metaverse awaits. Copy retry. All right, let's roast this anthem antic. The U.S. women's national team, known for their prowess on the soccer field, apparently have a different set of skills when it comes to singing, or rather, the lack thereof. In a move that's as baffling as a referee missing a blatant handball, The team decided to remain silent during the national anthem before their World Cup match against the Netherlands. Now, I'm not saying that everyone has to belt out the national anthem like they're auditioning for American Idol, but a little bit of lip-syncing wouldn't hurt. Instead, the team stood there in silence, looking as uncomfortable as a goalkeeper facing a penalty kick without a wall. Perhaps they were trying to conserve their energy for the game. After all, singing can be quite a workout, especially if you're trying to hit those high notes, or maybe they were just trying to avoid any potential embarrassment. We've all seen those viral videos of celebrities butchering the national anthem. It's not a pretty sight. But here's the thing. The national anthem is more than just a song. It's a symbol of unity and pride. It's a moment to reflect on the values that we hold dear as a nation. And it's a tradition that's as much a part of sports as the pre-game warm-up or the post-game handshake. So, to the U.S. women's national team, I say this. Next time, maybe try a little bit of humming, or at least pretend to sing along. It's the national anthem, not a moment of silence. And who knows? Maybe your singing skills are just as impressive as your soccer skills, but for now, your silent treatment of the national anthem is as confusing as an offside rule to a newbie. And there you have it, a roast of the U.S. women's national team's silent rendition of the national anthem. It was a performance that left us all scratching our heads, but hey, at least they didn't forget the words, right? Oh goody, more riveting courtroom drama starring America's favorite deadbeat dad, Hunter Biden. It's like a never-ending soap opera with this guy. Hunter contradicts the plea deal terms, the judge questions its legality. What a thrilling new twist. But fear not. I'm sure this is just another minor procedural hiccup on the way to sweeping Hunter's myriad alleged misdeeds under the rug. Tune in next week when the plucky judge tries again to hold him accountable before inevitably caving under political pressure. The cycle repeats. We all know how this song and dance goes by now. Hunter furrows his brow and nods solemnly, while his high-priced lawyers ensure he skates by with a slap on the wrist for crimes that would bury average citizens. But rules are for the little people, not the president's ne'er-do-well son. Meanwhile, the writers over at Republican HQ are working overtime to spin Hunter's legal quagmire into a trumped-up smear campaign against dear old Joe. Let's dig up some convoluted conspiracies to distract from our own laundry list of indictments. Surely that will resonate with voters. It's like these political parties are trapped in an eternal game of, I know you are, but what am I? Except they're playing with people's lives, not juvenile taunts. Each side rabidly consumes and regurgitates biased narratives, truth be damned. What a clown show. At the end of the day, while Hunter's stumbles and Trump's crimes make for spicy headlines, Americans just want leaders who roll up their sleeves and do the work to improve people's lives. Is that too much to ask? Instead, we get this endless reality TV drama with each week bringing shocking new twists in the courtroom, angling for ratings rather than solutions. Maybe we need a new script because this melodramatic miniseries has overstayed its welcome. In any case, stay tuned for the next episode of As the Biden Turns, or The Young and the Senseless. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to see what zany antics or legal loopholes they'll try next. Excuse me while I make some popcorn.